What's good, everybody? It's your host, Deeper Depths, with the Deeper Level Podcast. And today we've got a banger of a show for you lined up. We're going to be talking about Knight's Advocate, and basically what this whole show is going to be about, the majority of it anyway, is related to all things Gotham Knights. I see each and every one of you that are in the chat. Do me a favor before we move further in any capacity. Make sure that you like on my socials, whether you're tuning in from Twitch or you're watching on YouTube, because it really helps the algorithm. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that follow button and that sub button. It certainly would show us support here on the Deeper Level Podcast. This is episode 4, and I've got some amazing guests that are with me that I'm getting ready to introduce in just a second. Now, one of the guests is going to be coming on a little bit later, so we're also going to get him in as well. Now, I will say this, just a couple of house notes, because as I was looking through my overlays are created for 4 people, but we've got a 5th that's going to be joining the conversation. So my apologies, but I will get that 5th person added into it. It may not look the same visually, but we'll make sure that we get them into the studio so that we can all chop it up regarding Gotham Knights. Listen, y'all, we are 13 days away from this amazing game, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait. It just gets better and better as time goes on. So much has been dropped this week and has been just a plethora of information has been shared regarding the game, and I can't wait to get into that. Let's holler at some of the people that are here today. My guy 50 tuning in from the UK. What is up, bro? Good to see you on tonight. Also, Victor Jr., I see you, brother. Good to see you on tonight as well. Ebony Latoya, shout out to you, lady. Good to see you on tonight. And also the rest of you that are tuning in who may just have not commented yet, we welcome your presence here on the Deeper Level. Again, remember, like, subscribe, and also share. It'll help the algorithm and it will support the channel. Well, without further ado, we've got some amazing guests that are tuned in with me today. I'm getting ready to introduce these individuals and bring them in. Like I said, we've got one on the way, but I want to welcome to the show my brother King Greek, as well as Hypotenuse Hero, as well as Red Hood himself. Welcome to the show, my guys. What's up, King Greek?
What's happening? What's happening? How everybody doing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Doing great. Red Hood, how you feeling today, brother?
I'm feeling just about as elite as anybody right now.
Yes, sir. Hypotenuse Hero, what's up, man?
What it do? I'm feeling great. I hope y'all feeling good too.
Yes, sir. Feeling great, feeling real good. I had a chance to talk to these individuals kind of behind the scenes, and found out that my guy Hypotenuse Hero is from the same state as myself. He is in the state of Arkansas. Initially from Phoenix, but moved out to Arkansas, and I grew up in Arkansas, so we certainly got that in common, and just got a chance to kind of know them on a more personable level. Of course, I've chopped it up with King Greek before as well, and getting acquainted and introduced to Red Hood. But we've got FK Flavius King that's going to be coming on a little bit later. He had a meeting that kind of spilled over, but let's get into this. We're talking about Gotham Knights, of course, and again, not only are we talking about Gotham Knights, but we're talking about Knight's Advocate. So each knight here is represented by an advocate, which basically means that each of these advocates are active within the Gotham Knights community. So they are not new to this. They are true to this. They've been supporting the game. They've been on Twitter. So do me a favor and follow their socials. I'm going to be listing those across the bottom on that timeline ticker. So make sure that you connect with them on social media and any of the platforms, whether they're streaming or content creators. Let's make sure that we show support to the community. So what is up, everybody? Listen, I felt these 4 perspectives would be beneficial to individuals who are still undecided on choosing a main because the choice is tough for the first playthrough. Now, we know that the selection screen for the character in the game, it's kind of on a rotating spectrum. It shows all 4 of the knights, and you have an opportunity to pick who's going to be your main. And some people are still undecided. I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments, even some of the content creators, some of the larger content creators are still undecided who they're going to do their first playthrough with. So to kind of help you narrow it down and make that decision, of course, it's almost like the commercial with Reese's. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. So whatever choice you choose, you're still going to be one of the elites. So let's help narrow that decision down. I want to talk to King Greek first, my guy. You're representing Batgirl. You're an advocate for Batgirl. You've expressed and stated behind the scenes that that's going to be your first playthrough character. Give us a little bit about that. Why Batgirl? Why choose her as a main?
So, whenever you think about these kind of games, right? Anything that usually involves Batman, and Batman isn't the first playable character. Who do people normally always go to next? You have Nightwing, you have Red Hood, you have Tim and Damian, right? Batgirl is usually on the bottom of that list because nobody really cares that much about Batgirl, right? For the people that do know her, like Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, she's a good character, she's a strong character, but there are times where it seems like she's only delegated to, the role of Oracle or Nightwing's ex-girlfriend, so to say, right? And Batgirl, and I would say in this sense, is kind of the underdog of the group, right? Because in terms of who everybody wants to play the most easily, we can say Red Hood's number 1, Nightwing will be second, and the Robin will be third, and Batgirl would be last. So like this is essentially like me showing love to the underdog of the cast because everyone here is good and are great in their own right, and everyone deserves their own fair amount of love. So, I mean, plus like coming up over the years, like seeing things like Young Justice, Batman Beyond, like there's an affection there for Barbara that like has grown, that like has led me to like her character more and more instead of just simply being the person behind the scenes.
I get it. Okay, so basically, I'm feeling what you're saying because she's practically throughout, whether it's comics or throughout shows or other games, have mainly lived in the shadow of someone else. Mainly Batman, and this is her opportunity to step up. She's got her own ambition and to just prove that she's capable of leading this team. So I understand why you're choosing her as a main. Now that's real good stuff, man. I like the way that you spoke to that. We're going to talk to the advocate for Nightwing now that we've heard the perspective of Batgirl from King Greek. Let's go to my guy Hypotenuse Hero, who's going to be maining Nightwing for his first playthrough. Why are you choosing Nightwing, Hero? What's your thought process behind that?
My thought process behind that, Nightwing is the leader of the pack. He was a natural born leader from the jump. Batman trained him to be the leader. He trained him to be the next Batman, if you could say. But also Nightwing has, his different talents. He's a master of martial arts, same as Batman, same as everybody else that's in the Bat family. Nightwing has this set of charisma sticks, whooping butt all up town, all the time, constantly, whether it's in Gotham or Bloodhaven. My reason for picking Nightwing is because he's, more agile. He's he can go into stealth mode, or he can take on full crowds and full on melee mode. But Nightwing, when it comes down to Nightwing, he's gonna always be there for his family, regardless of who it is. He's always gonna be there for his city too. So like I feel kind of I feel relatable to that because I feel like I'm a leader in my pack as well, and I feel like I'm gonna do whatever it takes for my family. I feel like it's gonna be, uh, like a step forward for him to take this role as leader because Batman isn't here. So it's gonna be pretty much not all on him, but it's gonna be up to him to lead the family in the right way that Bruce would have wanted to go. So that I feel like I'm close to that role because I feel like being a father figure of my family, I feel like I should, be the leader of this group. You know what I mean? Like, cause when I'm playing in co-op mode, I want to feel like I'm there for my whole squad. I'm there for my whole team. As I watched the trailer, people got the inside look. They were talking about how Nightwing can give off buffs to the team or whatever, and I found like, yo, that's me right there. I'm the team helper. I'm the team leader. I'll take that role. I'm down for it.
Gotcha. Now, you know what? I remember when they was showing some of the information when IGN did the 30 days of coverage regarding Gotham Knights. They showed a trailer with Dick and Babs where they were in the workout room, the weight room, and they were both working out. And Babs could see that Nightwing had a lot on his mind, Dick Grayson, and she asked him basically, what's up? What's wrong with you? Why are you tripping? Why do you have that solemn look on your face? And he basically explained that he feels the most burdened on the team to carry on the legacy of Bruce Wayne. Like you said, Batman trained him for that role. So he definitely takes that responsibility to heart. And, Babs had to remind him, like, look, you've got a team. It's not just your responsibility. It's all about responsibilities collectively. But I feel what you're saying because, Dick Grayson feels that burden and that responsibility to step up, and become the next leading knight. So I think that's also a very passionate reason as to why you're choosing to main Nightwing. And I really like this chat, what we're getting into now, because this is not just people saying some random person because they like the way their suit looks or likes a particular takedown. I mean, there's actually a passionate thought process and reason behind each of us choosing who we're choosing as mains. And I'll be talking about my main in just a second to let y'all know. But before we go any further, let's hear from Red Hood himself. Now, he's an advocate for Red Hood, the character. And of course, that is the obvious choice, judging by his name. So I know this young man has a lot to say as to why he's choosing to main Red Hood first. Can you talk to us, Red Hood, for just a second on why you're choosing Red Hood as a main?
Yes, sir. I most definitely will. So, watching my first time ever watching or hearing about Jason Todd was the animated show Under the Red Hood. Once I first saw that, it kind of made me relate to Jason in a way. There's things that has happened to his parents. That's a burden that he may or may not carry to heart. And with him like evolving over time, he's learned, okay, you know what? I've been killed by a criminal. Um, I don't see things the way my adoptive father does. I think these dogs should be put down. And then he goes out and he does the things that he may or may not be proud of. As in the trailer, he does say in his hero trailer, he does say it doesn't necessarily make me it doesn't make me a better man, but Gotham needs me. So in a way, I will say this: Red Hood, me and Red Hood, I kind of connect to Red Hood, although he is a fictional character. There's some things that have happened to my mother and my father that I do regret and I do like push myself on. But I mean, now I'm trying to heal and get over it. There are some things that I am not proud of doing. There are some things that I try to look over. It's like, how should I say this? It's just a lot of things that me and Red Hood connect with. But at the same time, I don't know about that other thing. I don't do all that. We don't do all that. all of the other things, we don't do all that. But as far as like him being emotional, at least his emotional side, I know what it's like to feel forgotten or left behind. I've felt that pain before.
Wow.
Plenty of times. And whenever when I got out of Texas and I was on that plane, as soon as I got off that plane, I looked at my phone and they were releasing trailers back to back to back. So I was just like, okay, let me check it out. As soon as I checked it out, I was like, okay. So this is getting me pretty lit. I was like, Red Hood is looking like the main right now. As far as I know, there's a lot of people that know me for like posting Red Hood with a gun in his hand. Hey, I do that to just kind of get y'all hype. I want to share my hype with all of you guys. Whenever y'all post pictures of anything Gotham Knights and I see it, even if I'm like asleep and it's been like 15 hours or whatever since you posted it, I'm still going to comment on it. I'm still going to leave something to share my hype with y'all, because I know everybody that's with us right now, I know y'all hype. Y'all are the hype just like me. When I wake up every single morning before I go to work, I kid you not, I turn my PS5 on and we get a day closer. As of right now, I'm trying to hold myself from looking at that. And I'm like, we're not going to look at it until it's like the 18th or 19th, you know? So as for the people that are wanting to know, me personally, I connect with Jason Todd. I know some of his struggles and I felt some of his struggles and his pain. So with him being that character for me, I know there are plenty of times where he's argued with Batman, oh, you should do this or you should do that. I don't like when you do this. Oh, well, I don't care that you don't like that. I've done that with my parents too. No, I'm not proud of it, but you know, you don't always see eye to eye with your parents. Not all the time. So with that being said, when I saw Red Hood being put into this game, I was like, oh yeah, y'all just messed up. I was like, come on, let's get it.
Yes, sir. Man,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what's up, man. I'm loving the passion that I'm hearing, and the personal reasons as to why everyone is choosing who they're choosing as a main and who they're advocating for. I want to say shout out to my guy Dreads, man. What's up? Another huge active member in the Gotham Knights community. Again, he's not new to this; he's true to this. Appreciate you for tuning in and hopping on. Hey, what's up, my bro Gary Lion? Hey, what's going on? I see a lot of you are coming in. Joshua, Kitty, what's good? Make sure that you like and subscribe and also share this on your socials. Listen, we just got our Robin in the building, y'all, coming in hot. My brother FK Flavius King is going to be advocating for Robin, for Mr. Tim Drake. So can you speak to us just for a second? And when I say you right on time, King, you couldn't have picked a better time to come in. Why are you choosing Robin? Why is Robin?
Thank you, brother. Oh, guys, I'm sorry I was a bit late, but Robin's been a crucial part of, well, my comic life. Robin, it's like the small justice, all the factors that Robin brings to the table in case of the justice, the righteousness, and every Robin, because we had a lot of Robins, sadly, adds a crazy story behind and tries not to be overshadowed most of the things by Batman. They want to be their own person. They don't want to be Batman that much, and most of them, like we saw, came back to be a Gotham Knight and not Batman. One or the other pick up the mantle of Batman, but they are always known for being a Robin. So for me, Robin, it's the biggest justice in part. Well, not dark justice like Batman or even RedHood, because of all the things that RedHood actually went through with his life and all the messed up things that was done. But by being a Gotham Knight of light instead of dark. Batman says, I'm the darkness. For me, Robin says, I'm the light in Batman. So of course, Robin for me, it's a fun character, and he's a character that also suffered the traumas of most of the characters on DC, but tends to deal with most of the traumas on a different way. So yeah, definitely Robin for me this time around. Of course, we're gonna play every single character, but Robin will be my first, no doubt.
Robin is the first playthrough. All right, I hear you, man. Like I said, no, it's no wrong way to eat a Reese's. So every answer is technically correct because we all have our reasons as to why we're choosing to main who we are going to main. Let's keep this thing going. I want to go back to my guy King Greek and just asked, after they've dropped so much information on this week, just throughout the whole marketing campaign of Gotham Knights, WB Games Montreal has really done a great job with that. But after seeing this most recent trailer, and we'll look at that in just a second, what suit, what look stands to be your favorite right now? What are you rocking with as a main suit?
Either year one, I believe year one is the Jim Lee outfits, right?
Yes, that's right.
So my choices were already like picked out back when we had the suit reveal back in, I believe it was August. It's between Nightwatch, year one, and the Shinobi skins for me.
Okay, Nightwatch, year one, and the Shinobi skins. Got it. Okay, so that's who you're going to be rocking with for Batgirl. How about yourself, Hot Pot News Hero? With Nightwing, what's going to be your main suit? What are you rocking with?
I'm gonna have to agree with King Greg with the year one Jim Lee, and then I'm gonna have to go with the Night Watch for my second run through. My second is gonna be Batgirl for sure.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, year one Jim Lee and Night Watch.
Year one, Jim Lee and Nightwatch. Now, I will say this. I think that as far as Nightwing, he's probably got the cleanest Court of Owls Talon suit. I really like his Talon suit. It's really, really nice. But the year one, y'all, is just so hard to beat. And we'll look at that in just a second. But let's go to Red Hood. What are you rocking with, Red Hood? What's your favorite suit right now?
All I have to say is, if there's anybody in the comment section right now that is a Red Hood main, I'm pretty sure you can agree with me on this. We're rocking Night Ops, and we're rocking that Talon skin automatically.
Night Ops and Talon.
Main two. As soon as I saw that Talon skin, I was like, no. I was like, there's no way. I'm looking at this right now. I saw it for Nightwing, but then I was like, so if Nightwing has one, you would to think that Red Hood has one. And then when I saw all four of them in Red Hoods, I was like, yeah, Red Hood is a cop automatically.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Indeed, my guy. All right. Robin, FK Flavius King, brother. What suit are you rocking with?
Well, if people know me, even from other games, either is MMOs or looters like this, I don't care much about skins. Everybody knows that. I do not advocate skins as a main thing. But of course, all the classic Robin skins look amazing. So year one for me as well. And I saw one skin, which I don't know the name. And once again, I don't care about skins. But it was the one that they made the gameplay with RedHood, where he has actually a face mask that is amazing. Can't remember the name. But maybe it's going to be around those. But once again, I don't care about skins. I'm those guys that, okay, there's a skin. I like it. I'll buy it. There's no favorite skins in whatsoever. But I saw most of the skins, and I think his skins are all amazing for me. The Robin gameplay showed a ton of skins as well. So I'll guess year one for me. All that is classic because I like the classics ones. And maybe, as King said, Shinobi ones because me and Japan are like really tied together. So now I'll go with King Greek choice on the Shinobi ones as well.
Got it. Now, I do like the fact that, while we're on the subject of skins, that these are skins that we'll be able to craft, and suits that we'll be able to craft that comes with certain unique abilities. I like the RPG mechanics of the game. I really like the fact that we'll basically get the opportunity to have access to all of these suits without necessarily spending money in a marketplace. I mean, what's y'all thoughts on that? I mean, of course, we all want to support the game and we want to see this game continue to produce DLC content and things of that nature in the future. But do you think it's a smart move to go with giving us the opportunity to craft these suits instead of having a marketplace to purchase it. What do you think about that, King Greek?
I definitely say it would help in the way of being able to craft, because there are various games that offer both options, and then games that offer up one or the other. No microtransactions. Well, let me not say that. When microtransactions are done well, it's an okay thing. It's a good thing. The whole, like, playing into the whole RPG aspect of you having to actually go out and get the materials that you need in order to build that suit, it's really is I feel like it's really there to provide more of an incentive to make you feel like you've earned said suit, and to give you even more of an incentive to continue playing the game and putting more time into it as you're grinding for all of these materials and blueprints that you need to put the stuff together. Instead of just like buying it, spending a day on it, make a video, do blase, whatever, then just go about your day.
Got it. Hypotenuse Hero, what are your thoughts on no microtransactions, being able to craft these outfits?
I love it, man. It brings out the the RPG element. You got to put in your own work for it. So I mean, taking that to heart, I love it. That means you take your time on the game. You ain't got to rush through it. Nobody's getting an easy way out. So I love it. I'm down with it.
Absolutely. Already. Like you said, if we're talking RPG mechanics, then that's the way it should be. A lot of people are afraid of that term RPG, and some people just don't understand what that actually means. I had the opportunity to be on FK's podcast not too long ago, and we actually had an opportunity to discuss that exact thing. All RPG means is just that you have control over how you want to build out your character. So, a lot of people hear that term RPG and they think, oh, this is going to mess up the game and it's not going to be like the other Arkham games. But I think this is a good thing that this game is unique. It stands on its own and it adds those RPG mechanics. Red Hood, how about yourself? Do you think it was a smart decision by WB Games Montreal to give us that opportunity to craft our own suits as opposed to having microtransactions?
If I'm being 100% honest with you, I feel like them saying no to microtransactions and actually making us grind for the suits that we want was a very good move. Because with me, I'm all down for the grind. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can grind hours on end nonstop. So with me, I think that was a huge W on their end. Just a huge W in general. I'm pretty sure everybody here don't mind the grind. I don't mind the grind. I'll do it day and night, over and over and over again until I get my suit that I want. And it's actually kind of rewarding for you to grind hour on hour on hour until, hey, that suit pops up in your inventory, or you're able to craft it.
Absolutely.
And then you can go out on patrol with it looking like the badass. I think it's a huge W.
That's what's up. Yes, sir. How about yourself, FK Flavius King? What are your thoughts on the no microtransactions?
Well, we all know this is not a live service game, nor an RPG or MMO. Okay, those elements are really good for a game that is a very long-term game, like I said, MMOs and looters with live service. Since this game is not advocated as a live service, having the microtransactions would not be the smartest thing, but it's not the dumbest thing, because if you don't have an in-cash flow moving to the game, and this talking about other games that we saw, like, for example, Outriders, if you don't have microtransactions to support the game on a daily basis, probably the DLCs were not coming like higher and higher, because you only depend in one thing: sponsors games that are bought, and that's about it. And other things that you can do, like put them on PS Plus or Game Pass. So that's the main cash flow that goes to the game. Free DLCs, we already have the amazing part that we know they are free to an extent. One or two DLCs are free. I kind of remember that being said, but then again, you don't know what's coming next because you don't have the info. You don't know if the next DLC will be paid or not. Which, since you don't have microtransactions, I'm good with that. I will pay for the DLC because by the end of the day, this is a business, and business needs to put money in. If you don't have microtransactions, you need to pay for things in the other side of the coin, But yeah, of course, like any other gamer, I think we all dislike microtransactions, especially if it's the kind that gives you an edge on the game. And since all these suits and all these skins gonna give you some buffs and stuff like that as the RPG element, as far as I know, you being able to buy that with coin, with real money, will give you an edge that we don't need as players and we don't need as community, to be honest. So yeah, for me it's perfect, but if you allow me, I would like to say that expect that probably there are DLCs in the future that could be a paid DLC, which is all good for us as long as the game actually goes by it. I can be wrong, but we don't know.
Okay, yeah, you know what? You actually touched on, King, the point that I was going to make. Since there is no marketplace and there is no microtransactions, that's a two-edged sword. The flip side to that, which it has been confirmed, that there will be DLC content to the game. Now, of course, it may not be until 2024 until we see it. But however that looks, DLC has been confirmed to come to the game. So with that being said, I believe that the DLC will be paid. There will be an expense to the DLC content, whether that is a $20 price tag or, a $30 price tag or a $40 price tag. But let's just say that's a, price tag on the DLC. Me personally, I'm okay with that because again, this is a business and we have to support the product if we want them to continue to produce content for the product. So with that being said, paid DLC is definitely coming, I believe. But what would be a price point? King Greek, are you open, number one, to paying for DLC? And if so, what would that price point look like to you?
Well, if the game is doing well and is making decent content and they're being honest with its consumers, then I don't mind shelling out some extra money for the game. However, granted, I'm not gonna shell out the hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth as well, like how Diablo Immortal was charging people. But I would say it would really depend on the type of DLC that it is. So if it's anything like a character pack or something as simple as that with some extra missions, I could maybe see that being around $14.99 to $19.99. If it's something like an outright expansion where, let's say for example, we get Cassandra Cain, we get a new storyline involving the League and other villains like Professor Pig and Killer Croc, because I'm pretty sure people have seen the screenshots of all the recent gameplay. He's been one of the villains mentioned, so we know that he's there. We get an expansion with more heroes and villains. I could see that being around $24.99, so to say, because that's really $24.99 is really the sweet spot for any type of DLC that you normally see. But then again, it also still depends on what type of DLC it is.
Absolutely. Fair enough. Totally agree with that. Hot Pot News Hero, are you open to paid DLC content? And if so, what price point do you think would be fair?
I'm very open to DLC content. This is a gold game, so I'm open to spending $30 on some type of DLC content because I know the game is good for it, and I know the company is good for it. They've already proven that already. So I mean, when it comes down to paying 25 to 30 bucks for it, I'm good. I'll do it. I'm not gonna go any higher than that, but I'm good to dish out 30 bucks for it. No doubt.
Okay, okay. So open to it, and your price point is 30 bucks.
Yeah.
Red Hood, are you feeling paid DLC content? And if so, what would be your sweet spot as far as cost? I think you're muted. Or no. Are you muted? FK Flavius King, same question.
Well, in all honesty, I think it's also like King said. It depends. It depends mostly on the content that you bring. If you bring a new part of storyline plus a character, well, definitely, I would say $25, $30. I might reach out and buy that. But if you only bring me like a small section or just story wise, I will say it's like 10 to $15 at the most. If they indeed bring us characters, storyline, new skins, because if you have a new character, you need to have a new set of skins as well. Oh, I'll go as far as 30 bucks. Pronto, no worries about it, in all honesty. But they cannot be stingy with the content that they bring out there, because then again, if it's not free, you need to give me some good content, or else I won't buy it. And then, well, most of people wants their money to be value. Even at game price, we're already setting up, oh, 70 bucks. Okay, I hope this game gives us 80 hours each character, or 40. We talked about that on the podcast last week, I think. And definitely, you want your money to be value, and you have gameplay hours, so you definitely need to include content like 50 said, villains, character, story, and skins. I will definitely go 30 bucks up with a good DLC. Depends on the game, actually. Depends on how good the game is going to be in the end.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Okay. Red Hood, going back to you on that question. Are you okay with paid DLC? And if so, what is your sweet spot as far as cost? Still can't hear you. May have to check on your end to see if okay, yep, no, can't hear you. I see your message, but you may have to log out and log back in. Unless your mic is not connected. But nevertheless, no problem at all. He'll jump back in just a second. While he's doing that, I want to play this video because this is the most recent trailer that was launched on this week. This is the official gameplay launch trailer for Gotham Knights. Now, they've already showed the PC trailer, which we saw on last week. And now this week, we got the official gameplay launch trailer. Now, I know about a year ago when they started showing information for this game, they were showing. There we go. There we go. We got Red Hood.
I'm so sorry so sorry for that, man. There's no phone towers in certain areas, and I was just in the car with my aunt. She was driving me from work.
Oh, you're good.
But the answer to your question just a few minutes ago, me personally, I would say that if they pull something off, and I know that it's not an Arkham game, I've been trying to get people to see that for the longest, but people like what they like, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But I would say if they pull something off, like like strict that the Infinity DLC from Arkham Knight, they pulled something off like that, but added, like, let's say, his whole entire rogues gallery to
Gotcha.
I was loving the point, but then I think we lost him again.
Yep.
But he was making such a good point right now, and I was thinking, damn, let it be until the end because I want to hear the conclusion on that.
Absolutely. So yeah, he may have to reconnect. I know he said that there's a tower issue, but no problem. I mean, that's technology. We all understand it. Those of us who are streamers. I mean, I started the first episode that I ever streamed on my podcast on mute, y'all. I was on here talking for like 5 minutes, and everybody in the chat was like, "Hey, you're on mute," and I couldn't even go back and re-say everything I said again. And I was going hard too, y'all. I mean, I'm doing the best articulation that I've ever done. There he is. We got RedHood back in the building.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But okay, so back to what I was saying. If they pull off a season of infamy like they did in Arkham Knight, but like let's say they add all of his rogues gallery, so like every single villain that we know in the comics, I would pay like $40, $50 even for that. Me personally. That would be insane because we're talking about the ventriloquist, we're talking about Condiment King, we're talking about just anybody. Anybody at all, really. Bane. I've seen some tweets. It actually hyped me up. We can get Killer Croc. Like those villains, I would go literally insane. Like y'all would catch me in the video being so hyped and just like yell. I probably lose my voice. but but if they pulled something off like Season of Infamy but added his whole entire rogues gallery, obviously the Joker's not in this, but I mean, yeah, just if they did something like that, I would pay $40, maybe even $50 for it.
Gotcha. Okay. And again, as everyone has stated, it's really going to depend and be contingent upon the type of content that they drop, how big the expansion is. Because I will say that if we won't see DLC until 2024, that's quite a big gap and a lot of time to actually put together a massive expansion for the game. So who knows what they really got up their sleeve, because I think this game here, the base game, has been in development for what, 7 years? Is that right?
8 years, yeah. I think.
8 years. Okay.
8 years. Yes, 8 years.
8 years. So, I mean, who knows? Even though, we're getting the game 8 years later, what's not to say that they hadn't already built the infrastructure for what they want the DLC content to look like. So if that's coming 2024, then, we could be in for a pretty massive expansion. And, there has been hints and name drops of Killer Croc in the most recent trailer, which I'm going to show that in just a second. The official gameplay launch trailer. Let me see if I can get this pulled up, because Gotham Knights probably a year ago received a lot of criticism because people said that the game did not look like a next-gen game. But this is clearly not the same build that we're seeing now, because when we saw the PC trailer as well as this trailer that I'm about to show, I mean, this game definitely does not look like the same game. So I think yes, go ahead.
Deeper Debs, and I'm going to add on to that. I'm sorry, but if Gotham Knights if it honestly looks like a mobile game to you, what I need you to do is you need to go to the App Store or any App Store that you have or own and compare the graphics to the two and please tell me yourself that Gotham Knights looks like a mobile game. Please tell me. Because it's very far from it.
No.
Far from it. Let's check that out really right now. Let me pull this up on screen. This is the most recent official gameplay launch trailer that we got a couple days ago. Here it is.
Bruce was Gotham. He was a friend, a mentor, a protector.
You've always had my back when I needed you. I know you'll keep Gotham safe.
With the ongoing spree of homicides and kidnappings across the city, police are now urging citizens to remain indoors.
Let's knock some heads.
always listening.
The Court of Owls has sentenced you to die. Nothing can stop what's coming.
Let's play.
Tonight is mine.
You always said people needed something to believe in.
Let's finish what Bruce started.
Oh, this thing hits hard.
Listen,
Fire.
y'all.
Just
I got
fire.
goosebumps. I got goosebumps right now. I got
Complete
chills.
fire.
Hard, baby.
I
Woo.
mean, this dropped a couple days ago, and I mean, what are y'all feeling? Somebody give me your thoughts. I mean, because I'm drunk over here.
The Gotham Knights are so abusive. Like everything they was doing, they were beating the crap out of everybody. They're abusive.
I
love it.
Like watching these trailers is like being in an abusive relationship.
Exactly.
Every time I see it, I'm just like, bro, like, stop doing this to me. Can I please have the controller in my hand and can I play? Please, just one time. Like,
it's so true. And the gameplay, the bits of, well, not gameplay itself, but we saw there the double takedowns and stuff, so well connected, so well preserved for the characters itself and their own personas. And of course, we're talking about Warner, okay? So the trailer needs to be flawless, period. You know, it's Warner. You need to be flawless on that. If you're not flawless on that, dude, we're gonna doubt everything that you throw at us. But this hits hard. The song, the movements, the effects, the sound effect, it's flawless. And I think with a good soundtrack and a good pair of headphones, we're gonna have a blast.
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna ask everybody a question here. Maybe y'all can feel it, but whenever we saw Batman for the first time in game and he was talking to us and he said, "Let go of your grief and listen to the sound of my voice," I almost teared up. Like when I saw it, I was like, "Bro, Bruce, no." I was like, no. I was like, no, not the father figure, no.
Well, it's normal, right? He actually trains most of them, and it's like he's dead now. In our mind, we lost a mentor. It's like you have a very good mentor, and for some reason, like a father, and he dies. Of course, if you have some kind of heart in yourself, even if it's a tiny one, you will be feeling that. It's like a punch in the gut. Like, here, yeah, forget about the grief, and it's really good.
100% agree with you, my brother. 100%.
Absolutely. I think we're in for a treat. You know, I'm just really looking forward to experiencing the story of this game. Now, I do got to say this. Let me say this because I want everyone that is watching me right now to be careful. Listen, I know that there is leaks going around now because I'm hearing that some people receive like the artwork book early, and you're able to go through the end of the artwork book and basically figure out and put things together of how the story is going to end. I made a video because I'm a content creator over on YouTube of Gotham Knights, and I think I posted it yesterday. Listen, y'all, and I'm telling you, I barely escaped a spoiler by one of the hairs on my head. I mean, somebody had commented, because, you know, when you go into your YouTube side, on the creation side of it, your actual page, you can see comments that are posted, and I saw the first 4 words of somebody's sentence on my post, and it says, "I know how the game ends." And then I saw the dots. Let me tell y'all, I erased so fast. Like, I literally had my thumb over their comment, and went to the delete and just deleted and blocked them. I mean, somebody really, and I hope that those who were on the video who had seen it didn't see the comment or have it ruined for them, but I barely escaped it, y'all. And I'm just like, this is crazy that someone would go through those links or to those links to try and ruin it for somebody else. And I think it was Drez that was saying, whoever that is, that WB Games Montreal is actively pursuing them right now, whoever that was. Because, I mean, we got to think about devs, y'all.
Yes.
We have to think about devs. I mean, they worked 8 years on this project, and to just have it in a moment, even the situation with GTA 6, I mean, we have to be conscious of devs. So be careful, y'all. Be careful with Twitter, because you just never know where you'll see something that would pop up. But like even my friends list, you know, people that I'm connected to are just solid individuals. But like I said, I don't know who that was, who commented. In fact, it was a strange name, and I didn't even see the full content of their comment. But as soon as I thought I saw where the conversation was going to go, you know, I immediately got them, you know, off of my page. So yeah, so I hadn't seen anything just yet, and I don't want to see anything just yet. I just want to experience the game for what it is. But recently, WB Games Montreal flew out 3 content creators to Canada this past week to get an early play test of the game on a dev build, which included J-Shock Blast, shout out to my guy, Uncaged Games, as well as Caboose. And what this did was this content gave us a better perspective of gameplay, colorways for suits, bat cycle. Now listen, I knew that there were going to be plenty of options for suits with the characters, but I had no idea that there were going to be 31 different colorways and skins for the bat cycle itself. I mean, that is literally going the extra mile. We got to look at the RPG mechanics. We got to look at the social functionality for co-op. There's an option to kick people. There's an option for an emote wheel, which I covered a lot of that on my YouTube. Like I said, it looks great. I mean, if you're not decided about this game now, I don't know what else Gotham Knights
what else you need
to convince you. I mean, speak to that for a second, King Greek. I mean, I know your mind is made up at this point. What are your thoughts from seeing everything that we saw up to where we are now?
The biggest thing for me, I would say, is more so just how the enemies in the bosses fight. Because if anyone was paying attention back when we first saw the Harley Quinn boss fight, she looked sluggish. She looked like she wasn't necessarily trying as hard. Like the fight looked very unengaging. But I always had the suspicion that because of whoever was playing this, because as we know, developers tend to throw not to throw shade or be mean or anything, but developers tend to normally throw the worst person on the sticks in whenever they're showing off gameplay or whatsoever. Seeing the new footage, the enemies fight differently. They fight differently in the sense of like when you up the difficulty, things change. They become more aggressive. They end up using new moves from an entirely different move set. And in Harley's case, for example, notice like if you go back and notice, she actually starts off that boss fight with backup instead of waiting into her second phase, like how she did in the original gameplay. So knowing that the difficulty in this game actually matters and that it does change things, that definitely killed a worry that I had for the game.
Got it. Absolutely. I totally agree. Something that I want to highlight that Sentinelzer has said, and let me put this up on the page right here. So, and this is true, he said that raid and in-game content hasn't really been talked about yet. Now, I'll say this, as it relates to co-op, the mechanics of co-op, the fact that co-op is untethered, we do know that co-op is supposed to be untethered. You'll have access pretty much to all of Gotham out the gate. You can go anywhere and do anything. If they nail this, again, I haven't played it, so I can't say, but if they nail this whole idea of untethered co-op, going into someone else's Gotham, and of course, everything I believe scales up to the person with the highest level, if I've got this right. WB Games Montreal really has an opportunity to set the bar for co-op gameplay. Still not really sure how this is going to work as it relates to in-game content, but if there is a raid, let's just hypothetically talk about it, because I think I've actually heard that mentioned. I can't remember who was in an interview, whether it was the game director. I can't remember, but I know that word raid specifically was mentioned. A co-op raid is one thing, but do you ever think it might get to the point to where if it is a raid that it goes 4-player co-op? Because again, there had to be a reason as to why they decided to X out last gen consoles, because whenever you say next gen, that's not solely just talking about graphics, but that also means functionality, what you have the capability of doing, and as we look to the future of DLC of a 2024, I mean, those could possibly be some of the things that they're ironing out. I think one of the things that FK Flavius King had thrown out on his podcast that we were on, I mean, what would it look like to fight against the League of Shadows, in a raid? I mean, the possibilities are endless. What are your thoughts, Hypotenuse Hero, as it relates to raid and in-game content? What do you probably look the most for?
What I look the most for, what type of enemies and what their base level is gonna be. Like what I'm looking for in this game, like say for instance, if we do get a raid, I would like it to be some type of a Justice League level event. Like say for instance, if we're gonna be like if it's gonna be like some type of 4-player combination, a Justice League, level event where everybody comes in, do their thing or whatever. But if it's like a 2-player event, I don't really know about having a raid and having it go 2-player. I'm not feeling that really. It doesn't really make sense to me. Like if it does come to that, it should be like some type of, big heist or, well, I can't say that because they've already done Prison Break. I was going to say Prison Break, but they've already had that in the game and the trailers and stuff too. So I don't really know, but if they do a raid, it should be a 4-player event.
Can I add in something there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the reason why I would say hold on to the whole Prison Break idea is think of games like Destiny or Future Revolution as an example, right? Yes,
yeah.
we've seen the prison. We've seen the prison already. That's a part of Harley's mission chain. But it's not uncommon to revisit places inside of a raid that has different mechanics than from when you encounter it in the story. So there could be a possibility to go back to the prison, but the mission will play out in a different fashion, to fit what the raid is specifically meant for. Like for example, let's say if it is 2 people and going back to the whole thing about it being untethered co-op, there could even be a possibility where the raid would force the 2 of you to split up, and both of you are on the one end of an island or one end of Gotham doing something specifically that's a part of the mission for the raid. There's a lot that they can do, but in terms of like thinking that we're not going to be seeing locations again just because we've already been to them in the story, I would they could easily just bring them back and rig them with new mechanics. They could easily bring Harley back and give her more goons, or to give her more goons, or change her status effect, because we do have status effects in the game. She could deal more than just electric damage. She could deal both electric and ice damage. Like there's many different paths to take to that area in terms of how they can build everything.
Awesome. Okay. Red Hood, what are you thinking? What are you most looking forward to out of this game as it relates to in-game content?
Honestly, I would like to see exactly where I would agree with King Greek, but I would agree with both of them. I would kind of like to see where it leads up to, where the story all leads up to, and where it all, all things must come to a close at some point in time. So I would really love to see how like the story unfolds, how just like how everything goes, and then whenever they hit us with that in-game content, how they would end the whole entire thing off. Like they were both saying, if it ends up being something like pretty huge, they could turn the tables on this, and it'll everybody's gonna if they turn the tables on this, and let's say in-game content is phenomenal, we're gonna look back like 20 years, somebody be like, hey, you remember that game called Gotham Knights? Oh yeah, that was a banger. I love playing that. So me personally, I agree with King Greek and Hero. I would just like to see where it kind of leads to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The culmination of all things, where it goes with it. FK, what are you thinking as it relates to in-game content? What would you like to see?
Well, of course, one of my biggest issues with this game is it's going to be always an issue for me in all games, but because this is a very personal opinion coming from a guy that plays MMOs, and it's really hard for me having a game that is only co-op with no live service whatsoever. For me, it's always been a problem. But if you can feed me DLCs in a span of 7 months, which I allow that to be a very good span of time to give me DLCs, I'll be, yeah, definitely perfect. As for the raids, I know the chat is like, we didn't talk about raids. There's no raids. I don't think it's going to be a two players raid. Of course, makes no sense in my mind. Even a 4-player raid for me, it's really hard. Final Fantasy 11, Final Fantasy 14, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Really big parties. Even Division 2 as a 8-player raid. So for me, raids with 4 or even 2, it's kind of nonsense in my opinion. But if you give me special things to do, like, I don't know, let's put it out there, some of the things that we always wanted in games like this, like a horde mode, for example, where you have tons and tons of enemies coming and you need to defeat them, which is very basic and very simple things. If you give us indeed a raid, and like King was saying and Hero was saying as well, of course, you're going to visit the same parts and you're going to revisit parts. This happens in every single game of this actually conjure of games. It happens every single game. Of course, if they can give us new parts of the city, imagine Arkham Asylum or, I don't know, perfect. But I think we're not going to have the traditional raids, which it's sad, but we're not going to have that. End game will be missions with a higher difficulty and rewards. Hopefully, and since it's a good thing because you can craft or earn those skins, hopefully on that new content and you finishing that mission will give you a specific skin that you only can get finishing that mission with certain parameters, which gives you replay value on the game. But raids and stuff like that, I don't know, man. I think it's going to be hard, and it all depends on the engine as well, which they adapt. A very good thing, which being old gen is actually not good for raids on this kind of caliber of the game. So they ditching out PS4 in old gen was a good choice by them. But as end game, I see Outriders, but with less span of months. 7 months, 6 months. More than that, it's too much. More than that, it's too much, especially for players like us. I don't like to use the term a casual player. For me, there's no casual players. You have the time that you have, but we play a lot. We have the time to do it. We have the privilege to actually play a lot of hours in any game that we want to put. So if you give me a game that, for example, gives me 20 hours each character to finish everything, and I need to wait 7 months, yes, okay, I can wait 7 months and still have fun with the game. If you give me that, but you won't give me a span of 12 months or more, will not be so inclined maybe to buy a DLC because I know that the next DLC will be in a year. So I have so many games to play.
Got it. Awesome. Yes.
Can I add on to that?
Yes.
So something that I would love to see, just like content in general, is if, let's say, for instance, we've defeated Clayface so many times, we've defeated Harley so many times, and let's say that they get so tired of losing that Clayface and Harley be like, hey, you know what? Let's team up. Let's go ahead. Let's rob a bank. And I don't know if y'all remember, but the trailer of Army like miniature clay monsters that was swarming Jason. So let's say, for example, if you're like you and your teammate are done with Harley, or even if they add the four player thing, let's say 2 take down Harley, 2 go after Clayface. Once y'all are done taking them all down, let's say Clayface has his last laugh and he sends his army after you, and it's up to you and your team to put it together. Okay, so we have a bunch of monsters coming after us. What should we do to get out of this? Should we retreat or should we fight, defeat them, and lock them up?
Got it.
Makes sense.
Like
Division 2.
Like that would be
Division 2 does that, where 4 players do an objective, the other 4 do another objective, and by the end they meet in a room after finishing. I mean, could be a good way to introduce some 4-player co-op.
Absolutely. It can definitely work. Listen, all great and valid points. I appreciate each and every one of you for hopping on with me today as we had this discussion regarding Gotham Knights. As we give some of our final comments and thoughts, we are less than 13 days away now from the official release of the game. King Greek, what are your final thoughts as we prepare to take an exit?
My final thoughts, I would say, well, it's more so just like a public service announcement for the people that are enjoying the game, that are excited for it, that are covering it, that are making content for it. Let them enjoy what they enjoy. If you don't like the game, that's okay. That's perfectly understandable. As content creators, our job is not to convince you to buy this game. Our job is to give you solid our job is to do what the hell we want and have a good time. But at the same time,
unless you paid for it. If not paid for it, please buy the game.
I will 100% agree with that one.
But at the same time, in a way, we're also giving you reasons is to buy the game. I say this all the time. If you're on the fence about the game, I would say just don't get it. Save your money. But if you're on the fence and you are interested, try it. Spend the $60, spend the $60, $70 wherever you are. Try the game, test it out. If you don't like it, no harm, no foul. Just go spend another day on the shift, make that $60 back, no problem. And then you can go about your day. But we are not here to sell. We are not here to sell you anything. We are not here to convince you. We are just here to have a good time and hope and enjoy the company of other people who are here to have a good time. There's no reason to dock on anyone else's experience just because RedHood isn't using lethal rounds.
100% agreed.
Yes, sir.
Or you got to jump with the RedHood spectral jump or gliding. So guys, it is what it is. We love what we love. It's
nothing wrong.
I'm gonna add on to what I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
Hang on one second, RedHood. I'm gonna get to you. Would that be your closing thought, King Greek?
Yeah. And also, there's nothing wrong with Mystical Leap. Y'all just don't know how to turn your brain off and enjoy something.
Exactly. Let's go.
There's nothing wrong with Mystical Leap.
Absolutely.
Y'all just had poor childhoods. That it is what it is.
Go read
yes,
more.
sir. Mystical Leak is the truth. Hey, appreciate you, King Greek, for coming on, man. We'll be hooking up real soon, brother. Take care.
Absolutely.
Hypotenuse Hero, what would be your closing thoughts regarding the game, sir?
I hope people that like the trailer, like the game. I hope you're able to buy the game. I hope you got enough money to get it. If you don't have a next gen console, those Xboxes are on sale right now. Go pick up an Xbox and go get this game. It's easy. You don't need a PS5. You can get an Xbox. So go ahead and pick it up if you're able to. But with that being said, I'm Hypotenuse Hero.
Hey, appreciate your Hypotenuse Hero, man. We'll be hooking up real
nice
soon.
one.
All righty.
Have a nice one.
Take care, brother. RedHood, what would be your closing thoughts, sir?
My closing thoughts is kind of what King Greek said. You never know what you may run into. I completely understand where some people are coming from with the mystical leap and the mystical bullets and stuff. But I mean, it's a new take on the character. For one, it's a completely new take on him. And I was always taught and raised to never judge a book by its front cover. So with that being said, I'm gonna share the hype with everybody that is still hyped for this game. I really hope and pray that they do add crossplay, because I have some Red Hood brothers that want to hop in with me. And honestly, you never know. You never know. You may buy this game and think completely different from what you're thinking right now. Like Caboose, Uncaged Games. When I first watched their little like sneak peek of the game, they seemed very, very hype. And Caboose, in one of his recent videos, he said that he noticed that there's a lot of people talking their crap about the game. He said, hey, you never know what you may run into. This game can change a lot of your opinions, but if you don't like the game, don't get it. But don't ruin that hype and that momentum for everybody else. And I think I stand tall on what he said. I agree with him strongly on that. But then again, I get that there's no PS5s, like Hero said. There's no PS5s in stock right now. Even if you're so used to a PS4 controller, you know what I'm saying? It's not bad to swap it up a little bit. Get you an Xbox, snag you a copy of the game, and join the community with us. The game is going to be hype. I know it will succeed. And until October 21st gets here, I will continue to share my hype with everybody in this community. So with that being said, this is RedHood. This is RedHood himself. Thank you, Deeper Depths, for having me, and peace and love to everybody.
Hey, appreciate it, RedHood. We'll be talking soon, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
All right, my brother, FK, Flavius King.
Well, less to arrive, less to live, I guess. So yeah, man, I'm really looking forward to the game. I was a bit worried about all the things that we talked, like multiplayer, only 2 players, no live service. But by the time that we were watching gameplay and stuff, and I knew Warner always does that, go silence for a big months, and then on the last month, 15 days, just keeps throwing stuff at us. And it got me hyped to the point that making content to the game, starting to develop more things for the game. And to be honest, it's all been said. Guys, you don't like a game, you switch. Period. That's it. There's no ifs or maybes. That's absolute. It's like, don't like the game, switch. Don't go burning vibes on others. First of all, it's always my opinion. If you don't like the game, you don't play it. That's it. Life goes on. It's just a game by the end of the day. But I think they will do a great job with the game, even if it's only a co-op game with no live service. This still costs me to say that. But go enjoy the game. I think the gameplay speaks for itself. It's going to be different from what we are expecting, because I know most of the things, it's Arkham games and maybe our Marvel Avengers, because it's the closest thing. It's DC doing a Marvel Avengers games for 2 players. It's not, period. It's not. They are different games. Okay.
Yeah.
Way different. Don't go compare this to Arkham Asylum series, because that's an action game and this is a looter RPG action game. It's totally different, guys. But go there, enjoy. If you can buy the game, buy it. If you don't have an opinion form, check Deeper Depths channel, RedHood channels, Dread channels, Caboose, J-Shock, so many others that are doing some kind of content, because we are like guinea pigs, we buy the game, we try it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong, but I really doubt that it goes wrong. So just go and enjoy the games that you have to enjoy. That's it. That's my final words for this. Go enjoy the games. Follow this man right here. He's doing an amazing job, as you all can see. And if you cannot see it, take the mask off the alls, please, because you need to open your eyes. Have a nice one, guys. Debs, thank you for having me. Sorry I was late a bit, but yeah, it is what it is. Thank you, brother.
Hey, you were right on time, King. Thanks so much for coming on the Deeper Level podcast, man. And I'll be in contact with you soon, and we will stay connected, brother. Peace
Always.
out.
Have a nice one.
Well, there you have it, my brothers and sisters. This is Deeper Depths with the Deeper Level. Itachi, hey, I see you, man. What's up? What's good? Appreciate you for coming on. We have discussed Gotham Knights again this weekend on episode 4 of the Deeper Level podcast. Do me a favor and hit all of my socials, which are here on my overlay. The most important socials that you can hit are my Twitter, my Twitch, and my YouTube. Make sure that you like and subscribe. We're going to continue to bring you content regarding Gotham Knights, as well as a plethora of other games that I cover. I'm also a streamer. I'll be streaming the DL Field Chronicles. I think I've made it now to chapter number 7, which is the final chapter, and I've been trying to finish that up before Gotham Knights comes out, because whenever that comes out, we're going to go hard on the game. Appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Thanks so much, N3000. Trinity of God, man, what's going on, bro? I was seeing your comments throughout there. Valid points. Again, appreciate you for coming on. My guy, N3000, what's up, man? We go back like, we down like 4 flat tires, hey, man. We go back a long time ago. Ebony Latoya, thank you so much, my beautiful wife, for tuning in. Red Hood, the hype is real. FK, thank you so much. Make sure that y'all hit my socials. I got a huge announcement regarding the Gotham Knights community that's coming up. I can't say anything just yet, but I promise you it's going to be mind-blowing and a win for the entire Gotham Knights community. I should be able to talk about that within the next week. So make sure that you stay locked and connected to my socials so that you'll get the announcement of what actually is going to be happening. Peace. Thanks for tuning in to the Deeper Level. I'm your host, Deeper Depths. Peace out.